What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tales from the Flipside, episode number 110. I'm Bryan, and it is freaking raining out here in Arizona nonstop, like for 5 days. It's crazy. What's up, guys?
Jon Z here from the Midwest, enjoying a blank slate behind me. As you see, we've done a little rearranging in the house as we've had some time. So I want to talk about that and fill in some space up later. But I'll let Paul go.
Yeah, Pete Up's here. All is well. all is well. An isolation episode.
Day one. So we decided we could go one of two ways here, guys. We could talk doom and gloom, or we could just be idiots. And we decided we're better at number two. So we're going to talk about whatever comes to frickin' mind tonight and have some fun. So
yeah,
I think for the one out there, like and subscribe since he just popped it up. But
I think we got a fun show coming, guys. We're just gonna kind of jump around and like Z said, just have some fun tonight and try to keep it happy. All right. So other than all the craziness, what's new out there, guys?
Well, I've been buying foreign comics like crazy, so that's new or the same?
No, that's nothing new.
That's the same.
Yeah.
I did get a baseball card this week, but only because I didn't open the mail for a while. So that's new. I got one from Deno did a break, and I got a very pretty Albert Pujols patch.
Ooh.
So
nice.
Not particularly valuable, but a really pretty card.
Well, I say since we're getting into it right away, why don't we just do it and start with pickups, huh?
Why not?
All right.
We'll brainstorm from there.
All right, so I'll go first. I've got some goodies going on. So I want to give a shout out real quick to a couple local comic shops. I haven't been to the comic shop in a long time, and my homie Chuck said, "Come on, let's go. I'm taking you out. We're going to the comic shops." I said, "Okay, cool." So it was a lot of fun, and it kind of is one of those trips where you go to the comic shop and it kind of the comic hobby gets good to you again. You know what I mean? And I want to give a first shout out to Jesse James Comics. I went into Jesse's store for the first time. Any of you guys are out here in the local Phoenix area, these two shops are two shops you want to hit every time you go out comic shopping. If you get a chance, if you're not from Phoenix and you happen to be here, hit these two shops up. Jesse James Comics. He is a heavyweight out here. He is one of the best people I've ever met. And I went into this store for the first time, and it is absolutely beautiful. He's done some changes, and he put a full-on old school gold mine nickel palace arcade, like 30 old school arcade machines like Rygar and Ninja Gaiden. Whoa. All the fighting games you can think of, the old school Star Wars game where you sit in it and it's like,
where did he get those?
And it was a lot of fun. So that was a blast. And he's got pinballs galore, like all the cool old school pinballs. He's got a pinball machine that's a Star Wars pinball machine that he had the backsplash signed by all the Star Wars people that are on it. And
wow,
he's got like the old school Metallica ones, the old school like Iron Maiden ones. It's just a really cool shop. And I just want to say it looks good, brother. The other shop I went to is Dreadnought Comics, and I think I've talked about Dreadnought on here many times, and it's just the best comic book store setup I've ever been in. They've got these badass wall panel, these panels that you can open, that like hang out and you can move, that are from like floor to ceiling, that have books in them on both sides, and they're just full of wall books, and there's like 20 of those panels. And they have the best wall books in any comic store in the Valley, and they're constantly changing. And it's just a cool way to display them. It's a cool way to see them because they're all out. And I was walking up and down, and I found a couple of books. I found my homie Chuck put this in my face, and I had to buy it because I didn't get a chance to buy one. It's the Immortal Hulk #1, The Great Power. I don't know if this is a variant or not, but it's got Spider Hulk on it. And
I think you can tell on the barcode, can't you?
no, it says it's not a variant 0111. So it's just a badass cover. I like Spider Hulk. I've talked about that figure on here before, so I picked this up. And then let's see here. The second one was, you guys know I like UFO comics, and this one was right up both aerospace and UFOs alley.
Oh yeah.
Old school flying saucers comics with looks like 3 SR-71 Blackbirds like trying to take out a UFO or vice versa. And it's just a sweet cover. It's Flying Saucer Comics number. How do you tell the number with these old school Dell?
You almost can't, man. They're impossible.
Okay. I mean, it's not in the best shape. It's got some paper loss down there and stuff. But I mean, UFO comics, I actually like them like in this condition.
It gives them a little patina. Yep.
A little. What else do they call that? Character. There you go. So, and it's got the old school subscription crease on it too. I didn't know they did subscriptions on these old school Dell comics, but I guess they did.
It'll just be some kid fold it in his pocket.
Yeah. So that was that, and this is a big shout out to Big Leg because he kind of put me on that there were comics out there for this, and I've always been a big fan of Big Daddy Roth's art and the whole Rat Fink stuff. So this was on the walls, and I'd never seen this before. I think Sean had posted that he, I think, had gotten a number 1 before, and I had never seen the number 2, and I had to get it. So Rat Fink Comics number 2 this is Big Daddy Roth presents Rat Fink Comics number 2. So, and it's it looks like it's self-published. 3 eyes? What's that?
Does he have 3 eyeballs?
No.
Oh, I thought there is focused.
Yeah, it just wasn't focused. Yeah. So I really like that, and I wouldn't have known if it was there without Big Leg showing his pickup. So
good deal.
Pretty cool. And then this is some cool stuff, but I kind of got screwed on it. That I gotta contact them and see if they'll fix it. So back before the optic craziness started, before they hit retail and everybody was going crazy for them, I was going across some website and Fanatics popped up, the website where you can buy like your sports gear and stuff, your sports clothes and all of the hats and stuff. And they had cards, a little card thing, and it showed this box. And I was like, whoa, that looks like this year's optic, and it's not even out yet. And I think these were like $65 a set.
Whoa.
I paid. Okay. It's the full set of optic basketball for $65. And you get, in every set, you get a special pack of rookies that have a green tint to them that you can only get in these sets. And the other thing I didn't know about is every single card in these sets, the base cards in these sets, all the cards other than that pack are also special prisms that you can only get in these sets. And if you guys can kind of see, let's see if I can get a better focus on this. For some reason it's not letting me, but these are like a silver wave, weird type of prism. You guys can't really tell, but anyway, so these are all a prism set, and the shitty thing is you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's trashed.
Well, it's all right.
And not only that, it got punctured.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that went through to the cards, and it destroyed all the bunch of cards in the set. And here you guys can see the set, what the set looks like. So if it didn't get punctured and it didn't get trashed, it would have been a great pickup. So I'm gonna actually.
Did you only buy one?
I bought 2, and they were both trashed.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so I'm going to contact Fanatics and see if maybe they'll replace them. I hope they will, because that's kind of shitty. But here's the cool thing. So for those of you guys that might not know about these, let me show you some of these cards that I got out of here. So obviously the Zion, and there you guys can kind of see the wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's nice.
there's the Zion. Obviously the Jaw was in there. But the cool cards, let's see here. I should be more prepared. The cool cards, sorry guys, are the green ones, and I'll have to see if I can find them. But yeah, so I didn't get anybody good in the green. I think the best one I got was Hachimura. But just the fact that these are like a special type of prism that I didn't know existed, and so people that are out there searching that put together like the parallel sets, they want every type of Zion there is, are going to be searching for these, right? So they might have been a good buy. They might not. We'll see what the resale value is on them.
My only suggestion, if you're going to try and ask him to replace them, is not open the special packs and use that as leverage. Like, hey, I just want a replacement. I don't open the special packs. This got punctured. Unless you already did.
Already did, man. That's a shitty thing.
Nah, whatever. You're probably fine either way.
Yeah.
See what they say.
Yeah, we'll see what they say. So let's see here. And then I went through, I had bought some Bowman Draft Sapphire a couple months, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months back. And I was watching a recent Phil Hughes break video, and he was kind of going through some of the better players. And I didn't realize the cost on these. Some of these are like $30, $40 cards, but they're beautiful. I don't know if I ever showed these Bowman Sapphires on here, but if you guys have never seen them, they're a beautiful set. And I ended up, like I said, going through my set. I found a bunch of the first picks, no Adley Rushmans, but I got a bunch of Nick Lodolos, some Alex Manawas, some Josh Youngs, no Riley Greens. But some of these are $20, $30, $40 cards just because of the Bowman Sapphire. So if you haven't had a chance, check out that Bowman Sapphire set. It's a really cool set. And then last but not least, this isn't really a pickup, but this is a kind of thing going back to all the old pickups. I was talking with Ben Stein. I think Paul was around when we were talking at the end of the show last week. And Ben had mentioned that Zion Prism base rookies are going for $200 raw and up to $1,000 in PSA 10. And so I went through all my base Zion Prisms to see how many of them might be 10s, and these are all getting sent off.
Wow.
I love it, man.
I think that every single one of these has a real shot at 10s. I have 2 greens.
Why would you not send in the rest, though? Just because of what they are.
That's a great point. I got to think about that. You might, if you get them back at 9, it still could be
probably worth the $7 you spent.
Heck yeah, I'd do it, man.
So that's why I'm sending in these, because these are pretty off-centered. I'm not 100% sure I'm sending them in yet, but these are off-centered. These are the green off-centered, the green prisms, but they're a little bit off-centered, as you guys can see from left to right. So I have to talk to a few people, but I'm about 70-30. I'm going to send those into just to see if I can maybe get a 9 on them and sell them. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting, but it'd be nice to get some money back on some of those initial investments. So
Loki, once you get a 4K camera.
He's always giving me shit, man.
Hey, we got Dennis Hayes in the chat and Solo Wookie. Appreciate you guys too.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us.
Late start isolation show.
Yeah. All right. I can go next.
Yep.
All right. I guess I wanted to start and just ask a favor. As you can see, I got a blank wall behind me, and I need some inspiration. I was in the other corner. Everything was crowded. I have some space now. I want to do this section right. So I know we had it and used it before, but we had the hashtag Flipside Fan Cave going, and if you guys could show me some of your walls, your displays, give me some inspiration. Get some cool stuff showing on there. I'm gonna pick out the best one, and I'll send you one of these amazing Fantasy 15 Turkish variants, the Sealor Limited 250 with the spider going in the miles. But my wife's pressuring me to do something, and I want to get some inspiration. I don't want to half-ass it like I usually do. So I want a pretty room. Help me do that. Get some ideas flowing. Share it on Instagram. If you got some guys that have some great setups, show them off. Why not?
Yep, and Twitter if you have Twitter.
So, Flipside Fan Cave, help me out. I'm sitting here on a wall, and I'm like, I'm just going to put up crap, and I don't want to do that. I got some cool books and some cool stuff, and I want to show them off right and get some of that out there. So
tag you at Comics Are the Norm.
Exactly.
Can you tilt the camera to the left so you kind of got the double? So you're kind of got that right angle straight behind you, so you could do kind of both walls, or is that not possible?
I've got all kinds of. I've got a whole corner. I mean, I got a whole quadrant. I've got 3 walls I'm using. So I just want to see what kind of display cases you got. What kind of how are you showing your comics up? How are you showing off your geek goodness? Whatever you got.
You know what you could do as well. I don't know how hard it is to turn your desk. You could use one wall one week and the other wall next week.
I have one item I'm thinking about putting up for the one wall, the good old Joker piece, but my wife said it's restricted to one wall only. Just because she doesn't want it to be the focal point of the basement. So
right. That's fun. Well, that's good.
I'm going to do the whole basement, but I need to start here and work out. So help me, guys. I got a whole basement that I spent the weekend painting. So yeah, I spent my weekend where I was supposed to go to Boston and hang out with the guys that got canceled, and I ended up spending painting the basement. So let's make some lemonade.
There's nothing better though than working with a fresh canvas when you're putting up shit like that. I love having a fresh canvas to start, doing cool stuff with. So, man, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I don't want to just put some frames up and go, oh, there it is. I'm like, I want to get an idea of, how can I store my comics that aren't on display well? How can I keep supplies? If you got that idea, how do I do a good setup? Even if you want to show me your shipping idea so it doesn't look like a crap show, show me what you got. I know there's some guys out there that are way smarter than me on this. So
you have to hire that minimalist Asian woman from that show on Netflix.
No, we don't want minimalist. We want to show all kinds of stuff. And since I got all my books out, they're kind of in transition. I hauled it all from one corner of the house to the other. And maybe I'll get some stuff out afterwards and show off some fun stuff that I want to display. But with pickups, this one, a friend of mine sent me. I sent out I sent up a call for help in the foreign comic community because I found out about 2 weeks ago that when we were going to this NEC convention that got canceled last minute, of course, that Stranko was going to be signing for us. And we had, we were going to get a signature. So I'm like, well, I should take a foreign comic. Joey from the group said, hey, I got one. Just send it to me. No charge. And hooked me up because I had to get one in America because it wasn't going to have time to ship from anywhere. And he sent me a classic Nick Fury La Prensa. So thank you to him, and I'll hold it at some point and get a signature on it. God knows when, but someday.
JJ's got a great comment. Commission a mural. If you could commission some type of mural,
a Mary Marvel, Supergirl mashup of them and that pose.
Versus Centaurs.
I don't know if I can do a mural.
Yeah,
I don't think my wife would be that down with that.
I'll come paint it.
I've got some cool OA I want to put up. I've got some books. I've got all kinds of stuff. I want to kind of have it a mix and a mash, but a pretty one.
Yeah.
One that we're happy with and the wife can be happy with.
Yep.
2 more foreign books. I know they're getting old, but
we love them, man. Keep them coming.
I just upgraded this the French Batman 227. I had a copy, but this one is much nicer, so upgraded. And the guy who sold me that sold me one I needed, which is the Navarro from Mexico. kind of a very tough one to get in that set. So thankful to have it.
How many do you need?
I have a second print Arabic. I don't have a first print Arabic, but I may have to live without that. And I don't have an American yet, so maybe need to work on that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those, you can always get that.
I was just about to say the American version might be the easiest one to get. For those of you guys that aren't checking out Global Comic Safari, make sure you guys do yourself a favor and check out Global Comic Safari. John is killing it over there, so make sure you do that.
Yeah, we're going to be on hiatus Tuesday, one more week, but we should be back next week. Matt and I have just been real busy with real world stuff, so we're going to be back on schedule. We got a She-Hulk 1 episode planned, so.
Shout out to the Downright Nerdy Podcast real quick. They're in the chat. How's it going, Michael?
Hey, Nerdy. I mentioned this book last week. My boy Matt Roybal sent this to me with the Crow piece I had. An ASM 122 version. This is Italian. This is the Corno. Mostly we see the Star, which is like the 300s and the more Copper Age. This is an older publisher. And it is just, the colors on it are amazing. He said it before that these Corno published books are basically superior to the American, and just the print quality, the paper quality, the colors, everything is just done really, really well. They're thick kind of books. So thank you to him for that. Great cover, classic Spider-Man, Green Goblin, and just a beautiful book. So thank you, Matt. And I think that is it for me on pickups.
Really? Man, I was hoping for a couple more foreign books.
I grabbed some stuff to throw down memory lane as we go, but I'll let Paul go.
All right.
Hey, so I got some comic books finally. I picked up the.
Is it that Deno wasn't here? You're allowed to show comics this week?
Yeah, right. Actually, I'll start off with a comic Paul's Problem.
Oh no.
That TMNT number 2 third printing is my Grail in a 9/8. It came up on eBay, but it was about $300, and it was purchasable. But right now I'd rather put that money in some other stuff. And so I let it go, and someone bought it. Actually, I had a dream that the guy put it up for auction, and it went for like $2,500 or something. I woke up and checked, and it had sold. But so I let it go. I'll see what happens next time. I still have my 9.6, but maybe in the future. But speaking of turtles, I did pull the trigger finally on the issue 100 variant. For a decent price. It's been out for a little bit, so that came down. That was the Peter Laird and Eastman collaboration cover, and they have the that new series Ronin by Image coming out. So I wanted to pick that up because they're going to do something together soon. The Iron Man, the shattered
all right,
stained glass cover. Got a small pile here. I'll go a little fast. Got the plot. I need to read that one. The Detective Comics 27 variant. And then our buddy, Mr. Matt King, sent me a little care package with these books in it. So I got Flash 88, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
That is a cool one.
It looks very like Spawnish.
I know, right? I got Finger Guns number 1.
All right, I've been hearing about that one.
Symbiote Spider-Man variant.
That's
Scotty
cool.
Young, I think, right?
Oh, the Scotty
I like
Young.
that.
That is a good one for Scotty.
Yeah.
And I forgot about this one, that Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, the
beautiful.
bewitched looking one.
Yeah. And I remember he talked about this one. I think this was one of his favorite Harley covers, that variant.
That's beautiful, yeah.
I can't remember who the artist is off the top of my head. Gosh darn it.
Isn't it?
I don't know. The signature down here is about as good as my handwriting. Maybe someone in the chat can let us know who the who the artist is for this Pretty Harley here. I like that. You know, that'd be a really nice like blacklight poster or something.
I will keep things off the ground, sir. But yeah, I've got a pretty solid basement situation.
Yeah, you never know with the water stuff. And I got Spider-Gwen 25. I remember that cover.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
That Harley Quinn, Warren Lau.
Art journal.
There you go.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Somebody, I just missed it. There too many posts all of a sudden. Hayes wanted to know, why is that your grail, that turtle book?
And I got a Mother Deep. So that turtle book, that cover, it's the TMNT number 2, the 3rd printing, is one of the books that got me into turtles. My brother and his good friend took all his good friend's dad's comics and like started their own little back alley comic shop above our shed. And so they had all the books up there in the summer, and I was just up there poking around, and they basically just wanted to get rid of me. So they're like, here, just take this, take that. And so that turtle book was one of them. And so I don't know, just has nostalgia meaning, meaning to me. Personal meaning to me, it's not bad. You got a little April cleavage on there as well. And Turtles fighting the Mousers, rescuing her from them. And it's a nice wraparound cover. As well. I have a 9.6. I mean, I'm not crying about it. I haven't seen one on 9.8 on eBay at all. So, I mean, it's all right. Given given the times and things, I had unfortunately a better spot to put that $300 plus, $321 something with tax. So it is what it is.
Freaking tax.
But yeah, Matt King hooked me up with a good chunk of books. So appreciate it, Matt. He also sent me some other stuff, so appreciate it, brother. And so those are all my pickups, because I'm not gonna open. I had a bunch of packages of cards, but I don't know what they are. I'm not gonna open those. But I did want to shout out real quick. Not really a pickup, but maybe during your home vacation, if you have even on your phone, but if you have a tablet, the bigger the better. But there's an app called Hoopla. It's Hoopla. I know Stein turned us onto this a while ago, but it's through your local library. So sign up for it, and they have a bunch of comics on there. A lot of trades. Let me see if I can get Image Comics to pull up. I mean, look at all this stuff for free. Saga. I was going to do an article on it, but I mean, if you haven't caught up on Paper Girls, Wicked and Divine. I mean, this is just Image specifically. I've been reading a lot of Ice Cream Man lately, because Dan Piercy's been raving about that for a long time. That's actually a really good horror series. Monstrous is on there, but so check that out. You get a few rentals a month. I don't know how many more rentals I have left, but I can borrow 16 more titles this month. It says.
Oh, nice.
And all you have to do is log in with your library card.
Well, I gave Ozzy my login for DCU so he could watch Titans. He's like, I haven't even watched the show, but I've been reading the damn books that they offer for free, which I never take advantage of. And he's like, dude, I've read 200 Batman issues in the last month. Nice.
Yeah, I bought a Kindle 10 a while ago, and that's what I have it on. And I also got I was watching that Humble Bundle. I think I mentioned that a while ago too, but through the which app is it? Comicat, Comicat. They had like all the Spawn issues 123 through 302. So I got all the Spawn, a bunch of Star Trek. I think those have ended, but another good app to check out. So if you won't be short of anything to read, but I really like that Hoopla app. I think it's cool. You can get books for the kids and stuff on there too. So
yeah, that's a good trick, because God knows we're all going to need something to kill some time.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm sure that with just our hobbies alone, we have enough stuff to do to kill that time. But
enough to organize. Finally, dust off toys and whatever else. But
geez Louise, it's a perfect time to get that stuff done if you get a chance. Hopefully you get a chance.
So I'm gonna steal.
Yeah, go for it, brother.
So everybody's doom and gloom, markets a nightmare, comics are down, da da da. There's a couple bright spots though. This is a book I know Bryan loves and I love, and as I said, I've kind of had everything out, so I've just been picking up things I wanted to talk about. Nintendo Comics Systems Preview, the Mario cover from Valiant, first Valiant book. This one's a 9.6, but Comic Link this month, one of 2 9.8s popped up. Sucker went crazy. $2,300 for the 9.8.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've seen a couple people recently, just dumb luck. I've seen a couple of people that I follow on Instagram and Facebook and stuff make posts where they're talking about either this book or Nintendo books from the Valiant run in general, and how they're shooting up in price. A lot of people are trying to find, it's really hard to find high grade copies.
And this is an 8-pager. Like, there's nothing to it. So
yeah. And a lot of people, there's talk about this being the first Valiant
under their label as the Valiant. This is it. This was the first Valiant label book.
So it's kind of that perfect storm where it's like the first Mario comic, other than like I mean, you could say
Nintendo Power and
Nintendo Power. The Blip comic or whatever is the first Mario.
It's an intense book to find. What did you end up with? Did I sell you a 9.4 or 9.2 or 9.0?
Let me go get it.
You had something. I bought a 9.2 somewhere as well in the stack. There was a 9.4 I showed you guys. Everybody in the chat on probably 2 weeks ago saying you should buy this, and it sold pretty quickly for $350, and that seller has already relisted it at $650. So
this is mine from Jon Z. It's a 9.0.
Okay, that's a pretty high grade for that.
Really beautiful. Yeah, it is. There's very few things other than, I think if I cracked it and pressed it, it could get a couple grades, because there's just a little bit of a fold, non-creased kind of fold right here. But
yeah, maybe send that one to Sean.
Yeah, so
it's a tough book, because it's just the color palette's terrible, and a lot of blotchiness and stains easy. And
I was trying to find the eBay sale to bring it up, because I remember you posted it, and
it's a 9.4 for $349, and that one is already relisted. I think I'm 90% sure it's that same book.
Yeah.
But somebody on Instagram posted that sale, and I went and checked it out. So ours Claire's posted about it, and I'm like, oh my god, that went crazy.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite books. I've never been able to find it in the wild. It's funny because I had, lamented to Z how I've never been able to find it, and luckily enough, when he upgraded, he hit me up. So I appreciate that, brother.
Where would that even be? Where do you think they'd even put that in a store? I mean, it could be under V Valiant. You know what I mean? Mario M. I mean, what?
I don't think that's part of it. It's just God knows where you're going to find it. Again, it was a preview comic, so it's not always easy. Speaking of previews, our boy Peter did his Usual Suspects on ash cans and kind of special promo comics this week, so check it out. This did not quite fit in that scale, but check that back.
Yeah. While we got a second, let's talk about comicbookinvest.com. If you guys get a chance, go over to comicbookinvest.com. It's got all your speculation and comic needs. There's a giveaway going on right now. I believe it's still open. It's for the Little Giant Comics exclusive Peach Momoko Black Widow variant. So go check. If you go over to comicbookinvest.com, you guys can see all the awesome articles, and there's a new Walker report. Make sure you guys are checking out the Walker Report article. New Fisherman's Tale.
It's a Fisherman's Tale that the Ashland are under. I lied.
Yeah. So, but this is just click right here for the Peach Momoko contest. But as you were talking about Peter and the new Fisherman's Tale, while you're talking about it, I'll just go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah, ash cans.
Yeah. I mean, these were big back in the day. These were a big deal. Everybody was wanting to spec on these, and they were selling for good money. So very cool article on ash cans. As a matter of fact, recently, this is an ash can was part of the Hot 10 list. Bang #1 ash can, I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, was on the Hot 10 list. So ash cans are still coming out. These were the
Tales of the Jedi one's pretty too.
These Max ones were the ones I remember.
Oh, those were tough.
Yeah, super
I
tough.
never see those. Never.
Yeah. This Hulk one was interesting because I've seen it before and I kick myself for not picking it up.
Yeah, that Telios.
But
I do have that Prime one only because I have a strange freaking fascination of collecting all that stuff.
Yeah, and this Wildcats one was a huge one too. I remember back in the day. So
I don't see that stuff as often as you think you should.
No, you're right.
I don't know if I've ever seen an ash can at a LCS. At shows I have, but I don't think I've ever seen them at LCSs.
I think a lot of them are in collectors' collections. They're not rare, but they're not dollar bin fodder as much. So, if there's one copy for every 10 of something else, it's sitting in somebody's collection that was amused by it. Even if they don't, even if it's not valuable, somebody's got it because they haven't seen it either. So
yeah. I think the best time to find ash cans and stuff are, this is gonna sound crazy, but the places where I find them the most, places like Half Price Books, where people are, like Z said, are coming in and getting rid of collections, right? And that's where I've seen a lot of ash cans. And I think the best place to find books like that Nintendo Valiant book and ash cans are just dumb luck. You just got to be going through dollar bins or garage sales. I think that's the best place to find them. Flea markets, backs of books. I sometimes if you go the other way, you'll see them on the back of books. I remember when I was a kid, that's how I used to put the ash can on the back of the book of the real book.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah.
Freebie. Maybe a freebie. Yeah. You're checking out real quick.
One of my highlights of a Half Price book score was a stupid Eternal Warrior 4, and I got home and realized there was one on the backside.
Nice.
I was like, $20 just turned to $40.
Big shout out to Half Price Crook. That's one guy I miss not seeing his Google Plus post all the time.
He puts his posts on the Facebook page a lot.
Okay,
yeah,
a lot. He's a modern day Tim Walker as well, sharing his stuff.
Except Timmy doesn't live in the real world. Tim lives virtual, and Half Price lives in the real one.
Exactly.
They're
two monsters
from both sides.
Yep, they're monsters. Real quick, I got some. Well, not real quick. I'm terrible about that. Whenever I see real quick, it's probably not going to be real quick. I got some toys I'm going to go through real quick. Sort
of quick, maybe quick.
All right, so. I think it was last week. It was last week or the week before. I started a little thing where I'm pulling out toys out of my storage collection and to sell. And I'm just pulling boxes at random, grabbing stuff. So I got myself a nice little box. I grabbed it random, and this was in there. And I'll show you the box. Some of you guys might know what this is just by this. And I probably shouldn't have opened it back in the day, but I wanted to see if it was the variant. But I used to go to San Diego every year back in the early 2000s. And I want to say this might have been the second to the last time I went, or the last time I went. I think it was like 2006 or 2007. And this is the Solomon.
What's Mom doing?
She's enjoying.
Oh, sorry.
This is the Solomon Grundy. Don't touch your face, McClay. Go wash your hands. Yeah, I know. These things are super dusty. This is the Solomon Grundy cartoon toy from the Teen Titans from San Diego. And there's the figure on the bottom. Let's see if I can get this guy out here. I know I got people yelling at me like, don't do it. But here's the figure. And it is, as you can see, Solomon Grundy in the background has got some like flowing sewers, but it's the Justice League Unlimited brand, and it's a really cool figure, especially to stay in the box. I think if you pull this, the slime flows out of the out of the back. But there was a variant with this. I can't remember exactly what the variant is, but this is not it. But this is kind of cool. So this will go for sale, but very cool stuff.
That's all. I watched the YouTube video. Sorry, I didn't mute myself. I was checking on the kids and all that. When you flip that box closed, I saw a big puff of dust.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's terrible. There's dust everywhere. Dennis Hayes says, "Don't touch your face in clay. Go wash your hands," for a different reason, but this is a funny one. All right, I totally forgot about this. So this is something it's a toy that I sold on eBay, and the guy didn't like it because he said a piece of the windshield looked scuffed. So, you know how eBay is, you got to take them back. So I took it back, but I never took it out of the box and never put it back up. So I cut it open to show you guys. And this is kind of cool.
So when did you sell this on eBay? Recently, or has it been in a box for God knows how long?
It's been years. I sent it probably 3 years ago. And it is...
Oh, wow.
An original land speeder.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
You might have some sales. You better check the chat, man.
Yeah, it is opened, but everything's there. It was open but never pulled out of the bag. But the guy wanted me to the box has always been open, but it had never been played with, like taken out. The guy wanted to make sure something was there. The windshield was there. So I showed him the windshield, and he ended up buying it, and then he said it was scuffed, so he didn't like it. I didn't see how it was scuffed, but this is kind of cool. Old school Star Wars.
I'm pretty sure you made money not selling it.
I know, right?
So was there rumors of sealed boxes not having the windshield included, or what the heck?
I have no idea. I was worried that he was going to steal something, so I took pictures of everything. Yeah. I was smart about that. And he didn't steal anything. I was worried he was going to steal decals, but yeah.
What's that run? I mean, I'm so lost on toys.
I think when I sold it for $100. So I don't know what it runs for now. 3 years ago, I think I sold it for 100, 150 or something like that. So we need
Morello. He'd tell us.
I know. We need the Toy Informer, guys. By the way, if you guys aren't checking out toyinformer.com, go do it. All right.
If you're not into cards and you're into toys too, like the rest of us are sad and sick, that's a place to spend some more time and money.
Yeah. All right. So some more dusty toys here. This is just so here's a dusty box that I just grabbed that was in a like I said, all these were in a storage locker. All right.
Was that Micro Machines?
that was definitely dust.
Visible nostalgia.
You guys remember Micro Machines?
Oh my God.
Who doesn't remember Micro Machines, right?
Those are so awesome.
Yeah, so Micro Machines Star Wars are really cool. And one of the ones that I really liked back in the day was the little figures. And there was a couple ones that people were always looking for, and that was the stormtroopers to build, like what do they call that when they just buy a bunch of like huge groups of stormtroopers, and then the Jawas. So this is an unopened Jawa from Micro Machines back in this must have been late 97. So 1997. It's kind of cool. They're all different poses. I think there's a couple different poses, but so that's that. This is a Obi-Wan Kenobi figure from the trilogy wave of figures. Most of these figures are actually, never mind. Here is. I apologize, guys. Like I said, these were literally pulled out of a storage unit and just grabbed I just grabbed the box. This is an original G.I. Joe Flint Tiger Force figure, unopened. This was one of my favorite figures growing up. There's a speeder in that box, 175 to 255, give or take, 325 with Corona Impulse Lockdown.
Yeah, I don't know. A ton of glass.
We all need some toys to play with, so let's overpay. Thank you.
Yeah, a ton of those in the glass got broke, I guess Solo was saying. So
I think I had that figure. I remember the Tiger Force.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite all-time figures. I'm a big fan of Flint. I like Flint.
Wait for Ozzy to tell me you're fucking crazy again.
Yeah. So this is just a really cool figure that when I was a kid. So that's probably why I bought it. But there you guys can see the old school back.
Like my kid asked me today, what was your favorite toy as a kid? And I think I said, I'm willing to bet I played more time with G.I. Joe than anything else. Not that my favorite per se, but I spend more time with it.
So these are kind of cool.
I'm looking at Micro Machines now. Damn it.
These are kind of cool. These are G.I. Joes that didn't sell in the store and then ended up going to Dollar General at some time. And I found out about it and went and bought a ton of them. And they come with so these are from the G.I. Joe versus Cobra wave back in, I don't know, probably early 2000s. Let's see here, 2003. And it came with a little disc. And this is Zartan. Right? This is Duke.
I've never seen these.
Yeah. This is Shipwreck. I think I got two more here. Oh, let's see here. We got Dusty. So and everybody's favorite, Snake Eyes. That's a cool one.
Oh yeah.
So these are still 3 3/4, which are my favorite, and they kind of still stick to the old school G.I. Joe model. So they might be collectible. I don't know. I haven't even looked up the prices on some of these yet.
Shipwreck. Solo Wookiee Shipwreck.
Yeah.
What's on the disc?
Just showed them. I don't know what's on the disc. Let's see here. So it's funny. Here you go, Chad. Solo Wookiee talking about Shipwreck. This is the one I just showed. And on the disc, it says, let's see here. 2 cartoon episodes and a PC game and a digital comic book. So that's kind of cool on each disc. So, different discs per character. You get 2 cartoons, a PC game, and digital comic books. So that's actually kind of cool. That would have been worth $2 back in the day. This is one of my other all-time favorite G.I. Joes. This was like my second or third pick whenever I was, you throw all the G.I. Joes out on the ground and you take picks. This is like my second or third pick, and that's Night Viper. Night Viper was always a really cool G.I. Joe. He had this little thing that you put over his face, there that made him be able to shoot far or something, or I don't know if it was a gun or not, but it had the face camouflage in the back. I don't know if you guys remember that. For a time period there, they were putting in tubes of face camouflage there. You can see it right here.
I don't remember that one, but wow.
Yeah. So
eat the gum and put the face makeup on now.
not This is, I think I showed this last week. This is another Fun School Zartan from India.
Wow.
Zartan was always another one of my favorites. This is so one of the few G.I. Joe things, the PC, that I will keep is all my Vipers. I like to collect all the different versions of the Vipers. And this is the Python Force version, which was the Cobra version of Tiger Force. And I love the Python Force color schemes. So I'll keep all my Pythons. I've got probably 15 different color schemes of it, including some protos that I've been lucky to get. I've been trying to think of the sailor with the parrot. Yep, you're right. Shipwreck. That is correct. So there is, and it's still got the price tag of $279 on it from a place called Children's Palace.
Oh, I remember Children's Palace.
There you go. And 2 more.
It's always at like the outlet malls.
So another thing that I might keep is if I have enough, because I probably have doubles of each. So I would like to keep maybe make a little PC collection of all the Jedis from the Star Wars line. So here's a couple cool ones. Here's Anakin from the Saga collection. Let's see here. And it's the special Ultimate Galactic Hunt variant, as you guys can see there. So like one to, if you were lucky, one figure I think out of every case had this special silver, and had that special little stand in the background, that silver stand, and they were like a variant. So this is the Anakin, and then here's a really cool one. This is what I mean by collecting the Jedis rather than just the normal ones. I like some of the weird ones. This is Fau Maudama. How cool is that? Huh. So it would be cool to kind of have all these Jedis that are real cool. Some of them are just impossible to attain. I know Jason and Jaina Solo are really hard to attain, and most likely you have to get them loose, but some of these are really cool. So that is that's the toy run for episode 110. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys want to buy any of those, either contact me or keep an eye on the eBay page, which is Collecting Daze, and Daze is spelled D-A-Z-E.
I don't know what Solo Wookiee's asking right there.
See here, Solo Wookiee Chad says, didn't they add like 2 new opposable areas on the disc run? First was Kenner, then Mattel, second can't remember. Didn't they add 2 new?
I think he's saying they 2 like more points of articulation.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I don't know where they'd add though.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I mean, because it already had ankles and.
Yeah,
did the originals have ankles or no?
It's still just elbows, shoulders, knees, hips, and head. That's it. No ankle.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless I'm wrong. Unless there's something weird, maybe that they can turn there, but I don't see any.
I remember the best thing my father ever did was buy new. I won't call them O-rings, but new elastic bands.
O-rings. That's exactly what
they repair the Jejo, because they would wear out and break. I just remember having a box of half men and be like, "Oh, we're making a super soldier now."
Yeah,
and that was more fun than anything. Just taking the bits and pieces and putting them back together how you wanted.
Yeah, we used to do that a lot, man. But
you can't do that with toys these days.
No, you can't. It's kind of a bummer. I still say that the best generation for toys is ours. The 80s to the mid 90s is by far the best generation of toys, because you have, all the greats, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Turtles, He-Man, Voltron. I mean, it just goes on. Muscle Men, Battle Beasts. You remember Silverhawks. Remember the game that you had played with the cartoon, Captain Power, maybe?
Oh, I got some of that. Captain Power. It's in my garage right now. I picked them up out of my house.
So like all those things. And then we were right in the onset of the digital age. So we got some of the cool stuff, without having to move from everything being, on a tablet type thing.
Yeah.
Most kids nowadays, toys.
Yeah, they don't play with them like we do.
No. So
I struggle with it with my kids. They'll play some Nerf guns, but then they get in a fight. There was like what's that toy line? The short little 1-inch figures. Oh, it's pissing me off.
Battle Beast?
No, newer. They've got Marvel, they've got DC, they've got everything. It's a little Lego? 1-inch beyond Lego. If I don't know Lego, I should be beat. It's
Polly Pocket.
It's not Play School. It's something like that.
Damn. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They got the
Imagine X.
Okay, yeah.
They played with that a bit, but man, they don't have like that stuff that they played with for years, other than Lego. It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, I feel like Lego's the last timeless toy. Nerf is in there, but I feel like Lego's the last timeless one. I mean, they still have G.I. Joe, but I feel like they just aren't made the same.
No.
Toys aren't. They're just different.
No, they're not. They're not the same.
Safety standards, or they're just made. I don't know. They're just different. Just made different.
Yeah.
Fordham says Skylander, but to me, that's almost more digital than it is real.
Yeah. They're cool, though. I mean, those are cool figures, but And I think most of the really cool figures, adults are collecting them and not kids, you know? So yeah, some of the wrestling figures back in the 80s were so awesome. I remember there was two different ones. There was the ones you could put on your thumbs. You could put them up their butt and play with them. And then there was the bigger ones that were like this big. And those were so cool. It was just it was a different time. It was
toy technology was high and real technology was low.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
You guys remember Boglins?
I thought you were going to say Pogs.
No, Boglins, I think they were called. You put them on, you like held them, you put them on your hand. They were like these I forget what they were called. Boglins. I think they were called Boglins. Those are cool. Mad Balls. Remember Mad Balls? I mean, we talk about Mad Balls all the time on here. Those were great when we were kids. There was just a lot of cool stuff. So
no, I'm just not as entertained with my children's toys because I remember my dad would play toys with me just because I think they were fun.
Yes,
I think he was like, this is way cooler than any toys we had.
Yeah.
Like,
I would still, dude, me and my brother could bust out.
The big wrestlers. I got some in this basement somewhere.
Me and my brother could bust out our old tub of G.I. Joes and just dump that shit over, and instantly we'd be both on the ground picking them. You know what I mean?
bet if we called them out and you dumped the tub right now, you'd be playing.
2 hour after show.
You'd spend 2 hours setting them up and 3 minutes fighting, but you would enjoy every second of setting them up.
I remember strawberry shortcake because my cousin had some and they smelled like strawberries, man. And it blew me away. I remember just thinking, holy shit, these. And then I got He-Man had the Moss Man figure that smelled like evergreen. So, yeah, just there's certain things like you smell like. I remember I was talking with somebody about that Moss Man figure, and somebody had it a couple years ago, and just you smell it, and it instantly takes you back to your childhood. So, fun.
I remember the smell of opening new toys and new Pokemon cards. Those are a little later, but new toys of, oh man, the not Mech Warrior, but the robot Mech Warrior type.
I told you I had them. I found one in 30 seconds. Randy Savage, buddy. But every single one of mine has like scuff marks on it from just beating the shit out of them.
Man, it wasn't Mech Warrior, but it was another robot.
Robotech.
Battletech.
They had figures like that, like G.I. Joe. They'd fit in the mechs.
Oh yeah, Mask. No.
Mask, no. I don't know. I could picture the logo. I just can't read it apparently in my mind. I have some in my attic at home in my mom's house. But. I
want to give a shout out real quick because you brought out Pokemon. I want to give a shout out to the Dreadnought guys. They're the guys over at Dreadnought Comics are a little knowledgeable in the Pokemon and the Magic of the Gathering. And I'm kind of poking at them to get them to come on the show and talk to us about some of those Pokemon.
I would love somebody to tell me about Pokemon.
Yeah. So Jacob, my brother, we're gonna get you on here. So
we would actually pay attention and try and learn.
It'd be interesting to see. Paul, do you still have any of your old school Pokemon?
Yeah, I have all of them. They're at my mom's house.
Ooh, Star Warriors? Was that it? No,
Robotech Exo Squad, I think.
Robotech
was one of them, but not the. Don't think it was the series I'm trying to think of. Oh, Exo Squad was. Yeah, it was Exo Squad.
Exo Squad. Yep, my brother said it at the same time.
Yep, that's the one.
I remember there was a really badass cartoon when I was kids. It didn't last long, but it seemed like that the anime folks got one over on the American TV because it was totally seemed like it was for adults, but they played it during like kids cartoons. I think it was called Space Cowboys or something like that. I don't know. Do you guys remember that? They made toys of them.
I had a couple anime series that I remember. Like at the time, didn't know it was anime until I got older. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, that's funny because while going and grabbing a box, I noticed I had a box and it was full of anime toys. So maybe next episode I'll pull some of those out and see if
Vanguard Ace is one that always sticks out to me.
What's that?
Vanguard Ace.
Yeah. I remember there was my favorite animes, and so long ago I can't remember the name, but it was about like a library, and these three young girls that had these powers with books, and I can't remember what it was called. And then I really liked, obviously, like Cowboy Bebop. If Cowboy Bebop, one of the greatest all-time animes. Inuyasha was great. I really loved Inuyasha. And everybody loves Ninja Scroll. That was our generation. I think that was the first anime I remember going out and renting and being like, this thing is fucking amazing.
I sorted Exo Squad by where did the tab go? By highest. And there's one huge lot for $1,500. Buy it now. Or there's this Exo Squad Robotech. Well, I've never seen it before. It's like a white fighter jet for $599.95, whatever, $600 or best offer. But yeah, man, if you got stuff in your attic at home that you don't care about the nostalgia memories, there's money to be made. Open or not. I mean, missing parts or not. Just list it, picture everything out. If you don't know if everything's there or not, picture everything, every, up, down, left, right.
The North Star. Yeah.
And just say sold as is. Right?
Yep. Yeah, just put it up. The thing is the only thing that still just kills me about is there's so many fees. We gotta figure out a way to kill these fees, man. They're kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think unless it's gone up, I just say 14% off your final. And, I add my, if it's a buy it now, I add my buy it now price plus shipping, and then I say what's 14% of that. And okay, that's what they're gonna shave off the top.
Yep,
it's crazy.
And then there's tax now too.
Yeah, isn't that just for the buyer?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still it adds to their price, and it just makes you crazy. Because I buy stuff all the time, and then I'm like, oh shit. Especially if you buy something big and then go, oh hell, there's another $80 I didn't even think about.
My oldest brother's really artistic, and he used to do those the Warhammer figures. That's what they were.
Oh yeah,
paint
that's
those
an
from
expensive
scratch.
hobby.
Man, painting those from scratch, and they
I had a fraternity brother did that, and I'm like, dude, that's a whole love affair.
Yeah, they released those other figures though that are that are already painted and like they're on a plastic base.
Yeah.
But yeah, painting those pewter figures from scratch is a labor of love.
Yeah. Well, last week I showed all those freaking games that I brought from my house, and my kids are like, can we play them? I'm like, I don't know if I even want to let you start this. It's a bad path.
Yeah, because then they're gonna want to get into the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one.
This is a dark path, young Padawan.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here.
I wanted to show off some books just because I got them out, and I fucking wanted to show off because I can.
Let's do it.
I don't always. This one is my first sort of spec book, I guess, when I got in the group way back in the day. We were specking on everything. I said, Ragman, he's a Batman villain. He could show up anywhere in DC. He did show up on Arrow, but didn't really hit. Beautiful Kubert cover. A bizarre character. Had some great stories, but still a pretty tough 9.8. So this is like that stuff that I'd like to kind of show. Maybe not valuable per se, not cheap, but just stuff that I remember and I just, kind of enjoy, that kind of stuff. Fun. Books that you're just like, I don't care if anybody else appreciates them. I appreciate it. That was my first post in CBSI was, this is a spec book. Now, terrible post, and you've all learned you shouldn't listen to me for spec, but that's what I thought at the time. This one is Batman 156, classic cover that's, kind of made a million homages. I know everybody says it's Crisis cover, but this to me was before that. I hunted for years. Leg and I were chasing the highest grade one we could, and I happened to score this one off MCS. Advertised it like a 7, but the press it ended up at a 9.2, and it blew my mind. but this is one of my all-time favorite covers of any book. I remember seeing it at a show one time when I was a kid and just blew my mind. Didn't buy it then, and has always just been there as, wow, that is amazing.
I remember you were looking for that weird cover of it, right? That you were asking me about, or I think you and I were talking about it. It was a homage to that, but it looked weird. It was like
there's a modern variant.
Yeah, what was that one?
Oh, I have one. I didn't get a 9.8 of it. It was in one of the Batman miniseries, probably around 2013 or 14, I bet. But it's got a demon Batman.
Yeah. It's the art is cool, unique, but yeah, demonish. Yeah, I don't know.
There have been several. I mean, everybody isn't going to say, but Crisis was an homage to that, and there's been several direct Batman homages to it. This one is one that probably not everybody appreciates, but Spirit number 9.
I think it's an awesome cover.
I bought this at a deal, but when I kind of got back into comics, I met a guy who was an old school guy and kind of taught me his thoughts on comics from being from the 60s and 70s and showing me around. And the first book I bought from him was a copy of this, and I happened to find this one, which was the nicest one I've ever seen for sale. So I bought it, and it kind of always reminded me of, just learning from him all this crazy stories are told of pressing books with a flat iron, for the love of God, on an ironing board. So that's what they used to do. They'd flatten them out to wide open at the centerfold and refold them and iron them back. And I'm like, that's insanity.
Wow.
When was that? When were they doing that?
60s, 70s.
Oh, wow.
There's still people that do it that way.
Really?
Like old school. That's how they learned, and that's how they do it. They're like wizards and crazy. We're all like, well, just give me a pancake press and we'll flatten that bitch out.
Yeah.
These guys did it like a labor of love.
If you took a modern book and did it that way, where would the damage be? Wouldn't it cause?
It probably wouldn't work that way.
Yeah, it couldn't. Right along straight on the spine, it wouldn't.
But that's how they'd fix the spine roll.
Huh.
I'd never seen it. Don't know how it worked, but he swore to God that's how they did it. And I'm like, all right, my friend. But this paper bin's completely different. We've talked about it. You crease a modern book, that thing's going to spine tick in a second. This one, I'm not going to say it could, but there's times you send it in a manila envelope, it might make it pretty good. It's just flexible. So
you have to fight with a wife for the iron back then and be like, I need it for comic books.
Exactly.
Wait till she's out with the girls or something, maybe.
I'm not gonna lie, I did try ironing one once. It was a fucking disaster. Don't do it to a modern.
Man. That's awesome.
The black rolled all over it. It took the ink off. So it's only for old books.
Oh, shit.
That was a John's problem for a Paul's problem.
Yeah. I gotta tell mine before we close.
I got 2 more. I'm just rolling because I picked some up. Teen Titans promo variant that I've still never seen again. Only Topher told me about it, and I found one. Also, about 8 pages. Impossible book to find.
What was it in? Where does it come from?
We don't know. Topher thinks it might have been an insert in like one of the comic promo magazines.
Yeah.
But nobody's been able to confirm. I've never seen him. I've seen a couple pictures, and I got this one.
Does it say number 1 on it?
Yeah, but it's not the book. I mean, it literally is 6 or 8 pages. It's tiny.
I love books like that.
Yeah, and you guys know me. I'm a Teen Titans fan, a Teen Titans Go fan. This is a badass book for me, and I found it sitting on the top of a shelf that I forgot I put it up there. So that's awesome. I really need to put these books somewhere where I can remember them.
The art has been used again, though.
It was the actual cover for Teen Titans 1 minus the preview and stuff.
Yeah.
So. And then this bad boy I just haven't shown off in a while, and I wanted to.
I'm glad you showed that. My buddy Chuck picked up one of the cooler reprint variants from that book at Dreadnought.
Yeah. What's the reprint you got?
I can't remember which one it was. I think it's I can't remember. But that's one of those books that no matter what print it is, it looks good.
I just want to, I've got, a few toys, I just want to be able to show off all this fun stuff that I like seeing. It makes me happy. And it's all sitting in a fucking corner.
John, I just sent you a link on Hangouts for that Teen Titans book. Check it out. Oh, here's a better one. If you didn't know, the art was also used for a free comic book day one.
Yes, that too. It was a free comic book day, which was the reprint of number 1.
Got it. Sorry, I just typed in to look for it.
No.
What? Go ahead.
No, you're good. Like I said, I don't know. I just want to have some fun tonight, so
yeah, absolutely.
Hell with it. We are.
I yelled downstairs before the show. I asked my wife if there was any Paul's problems recently, and she's like, "Yeah, that 80 pounds of rice rings a bell." But yeah, just keeping it light. I have a good show tonight, but yeah, that's a cool. I just typed in Teen Titans Go number 1. I didn't know if you knew about the free comic book day one.
There's free comic book day. There's this preview. There's an original, and there's a newsstand. I have a beat ass newsstand. The Teen Titans Go newsstands were not all issues. Some of the early ones and some of the very last ones, and all, if you wait, will sell for quite a bit of money. So. For sick cool. Teen Titans collectors.
Yeah, I think that Teen Titans are one of those groups of collectors out there that are pretty rabid about anything Teen Titans.
Well, I will argue with anyone any day that if you ask my children what superheroes do they see, it's Teen Titans. They've had several series where the Marvels, the Avengers are there, but I think Justice League has not been properly done in a long time. Superman and Batman's always cool, but they watch Teen Titans Go. They watch the Teen Titans shows. I think that's the one they're going to take with them as nostalgia.
Solo Wookie put up they had different types of irons.
Yeah,
You with the potbelly stove with paper. Was it one of these?
I honestly think that's what we're talking about. Like I said, I never saw the guy do it. He was too old at the time, but he told me about it, and it blew my mind.
I got this. This is from my grandmother's house when she passed away.
I'm going to send you a Golden Age book.
Yeah,
let's see what you can do to it. Let's videotape that, and this is Paul's pressing problems.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, my God. We got a viral video. Oh, God.
Probably, this will probably explode or something. I don't even know if it's got, I don't know, see the pitting here?
Oh.
So who knows? It's got some air bubbles in there.
This is going to be bad, but I don't want to see it.
Some iron shrapnel. Oh, yeah, he said here, Soloki said that's exactly what he's talking about. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is terrible.
That guy Frankie says I sent half my collection to get signed and slabbed after WonderCon. It's sitting across the U.S. from me, and I've been freaking out. Wish the virus happened after I got my books back.
Yeah,
Well, I know we weren't going to talk about it, but is it affecting grading? I thought CGC.
I haven't heard any shipping issues. I haven't heard anything about the postal office, USPS. Nothing about Amazon slowing shipping.
Nothing yet. Yeah, I'm willing to bet they're going to be classified as non-essential businesses soon.
Yeah.
Dennis Hayes says that iron was made for ash cans.
Oh, God.
Howard Fordham says disaster in the making.
I'm going to find a book and just let Paul go at it. I got something I can afford to lose.
I'll video it. What do I put under it? Wax paper or something between the book and the
paper?
Parchment, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it has some non-slip rubber things on it. I'll have to take those off.
Yeah, well, that'd be fine, Paul.
Melt them off.
Wear a glove or something. I mean, that doesn't look like there's any rubber on the handle.
No, on the bottom there's these rubber.
No, but I mean, if you heat up the bottom, the metal on the top's going to get hot.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
This is going on. Just a reminder for everybody: help me out. Help me with the Flipside fan cave post. So show me some cool displays. we had one up and running, but we haven't had a post on it in quite a while. So show some love. If he shows up before, show me what you updated. Just
Yeah,
give me some
basically,
ideas so that this is not what we see for the next 6 months.
yeah. Basically, what we were having people do is just take a picture of your fan cave or your setup or your cool display. How are you displaying stuff? Any of cool things and ways to display something. Throw up the hashtag Flipside Fan Cave. Tag us in it, and
if you get enough traffic, and maybe I'll do something cool and give away something bigger. But if you guys just post something, I'll give away that amazing Fantasy 15 Turkish just for somebody doing a good job. If we get a lot of traffic, I'll get something better out. So share it with your friends. I know there's a lot of guys that love showing off their stuff. Let's see it.
Yeah, and then also make sure that if you guys get a chance to go check out comicbookinvest.com and for all your comic book and speculation needs, it's our wizard, our generation's wizard, a bunch of amazing articles. Don't miss the Walker Report. There's a new Walker Report out for March 16th. I'll give you a quick preview of some of the cool stuff, and you get to learn some of these amazing stories and pickups behind one of the greatest pickup artists in comic book, and that's Tim Walker. Most of the cool stuff that I find out about came from the Tim Walker stuff. So,
yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Other than that, make sure you guys check out Global Comic Safari. What do you guys got coming? Some new stuff coming here in a couple weeks, sounds like.
We're off tomorrow, but we plan on being back next Tuesday with a She-Hulk #1 set.
Ah, nice.
Very cool. One of the things real quick that I just saw, that this is why Tim Walker and people like Tim Walker and Topher and the guys over at comicbookinvest.com are badass. He shows this Amazing Heroes #1. Let's see, Amazing Heroes #16. It has not only the New Mutants preview on the cover.
Oh, I've sold that one before.
Inside, it's got the Boba Fett preview, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
And some New Mutant sketches by Bob McLeod. So that's some reasons why that stuff is really cool. So make sure you guys go check it out. And go check out the variants over there. If you guys want to pick up some CBSI hats, hoodies, beanies, shirts, go to cbsiswag.com and make sure you guys like and subscribe. And other than that, you guys got anything else?
No, thanks everyone for hanging out.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you guys post those Flipside fan caves. And other than that, we will see you next time.